Okay, so I'm here at my king cobra's enclosure. He's just busy looking at me. I actually want to see, he's a very curious snake. I actually need to catch him for breeding purposes. So I want to see if he'll actually go in here. I want to watch his body language. It's pretty interesting to see. Now, bagging a king cobra is extremely difficult because they sort of want to come out and everything. So I've got a shed of a female which is busy smelling over here. So I actually want to see if he'll maybe just sort of go and investigate on his own, which is maybe trying my luck, especially with me holding it, but he doesn't seem to be bothered about me at all. Now I'm also trying to keep it dead still. Okay, so my hope is that if he goes inside this bag, makes for an easy capture, and by the time I get him to his girlfriend, he might be ready and looking to breed with her. So I mean, he's smelling quite a lot here, and his colors are quite insane lately. He has shed, and it is the sort of breeding time of the year, and I've been told that the males actually get breeding colors. So I'm hoping that this pairing will go well. Okay, look, oh, there we go, he's showing some interest. Yeah, she's in there, buddy. She's in there. Yeah, my naughty trickster. Go on for it, buddy. This snake is actually really hectic. Like, he comes at me a lot when I open the cage. A lot of it's intimidation, but also a lot of interest. So he's an extremely interesting snake. I mean, king cobras are really amazing. Ever since I got my first one, Queenie, which will be his new girlfriend, they have just blown my mind. I mean, I've kept over 70 to 80 species of reptiles, and for me the king cobras are just fascinating. So far my little tactic is working. I was quite hopeful for it, and this is also a good sign that he's going to be looking for a girlfriend, as long as he's not thinking of, I'm going to eat this one. So I'm just going to, he should hopefully go all the way in. I need more of him to go in. He's probably like close to 3 meters. There he goes. This is amazing. Like really, really, really cool. I mean, guys who've watched my videos, I'm not one of the most sort of big oh, that didn't look good. A sort of sharp movement, but that also might be his like wanting to nudge or whatever. I just hope he hasn't tried to eat the shed. So here he goes, he's going deeper in. But like I was saying, I'm not really one to get extremely excited in my videos and put it on and amp it up and things like that. So if you hear a bit of excitement in my voice, that's because I'm actually really excited about this. I mean, this is just fascinating. For getting a king to go in a bag all on his own. I mean, how cool. And a very, very good sign. So I don't know how far in he is. I just don't want him bursting out of here if I make a sudden movement. So just his tail's about to let go now. Come on, buddy, keep going. I hope you guys can see this in the camera. I mean, I've got a GoPro mounted to my head, and then I've got the camera outside. So at least we'll get the coverage here. Come on, buddy, a little further in. A little further in. I could probably maybe just give him a foul swoop and he'll be in there, twist the bag, but there we go, he's going on his own. So a little bit of patience. This is the kind of thing I have patience for, but otherwise I'm not a very patient person. It's one of my downfalls, but hey, we can't all be perfect. Okay, so we're just going to nudge him in there. Oh, come on, buddy. Okay, he's tangled a bit on the end. Just give him a little tail tap. We've got it in a knot. Tap him on the tail. Twist the bag just a little bit so he can't find his way out. Okay, the tail's gonna go in. Oh, okay, I hope we got enough of a twist here and he doesn't come bursting out, because my word, he is strong. Oh, sherbet. Now he's reversing. Okay, we'll just try and tap him on the tail, because can you imagine him coming out of here now? That's gonna be a fun thing to deal with. Okay, so a little tap on the tail always gets a snake kind of moving along. They're very ticklish on the tail. It's gentle. Just a little tap, 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 tap. Come on, buddy. Come on, go inside your bag. And obviously there's only one sort of twist in the bag, so his tail's not going to get hurt. He can move through it. I mean, you see how he was reversing there. Okay, now we see he almost got out there. So now we just want to put a few turns into the bag. Okay, we're going to grip it here like this. I should have brought a cable tie. That sucks, and this bag doesn't have a nice tying off thing like most of them do. It's supposed to fit in here. Oh, he's hissing a little bit, but at least he'll be nice and calm in this bag. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this out, and we're going to somehow tie a knot in it, or just pop him in the box and then clip the lid. That'll also be good enough to keep him from climbing out of there. Okay, so we don't ever want to touch the bag. So we've got a nice twist in it. I'm just going to pick him up like this. Okay, so we've got the twisting there. Obviously that part will unravel, and then we can just carry him out and lay him in his box. Okay, so we're just going to lay him in the box like this, and just gently move the lid so if his tail is there, he goes inside the box and we don't clip his tail in there. Okay, so now it's safely secure. He can't get out at all, and what I'll do is I'll just tie this bag off. Okay, so now he's all packed and we're going for shipping. That was awesome. That worked so flippin' well. Okay, so and then we can see his cage a little bit better. I want to do a little bit more work. I would like to maybe add a basking spot at the top there. So he's got a bit of a daylight, looks like the sun with the clouds and everything. The plants need a little bit of pruning, but hey, it looks natural. Yeah, very cool cage. I'm glad with how it came out. Okay, so now we're gonna go. We are here at Le Bonnier Croc Farm. We've got lots of cool reptiles to see, as well as some massive Nile crocodiles. So if you guys are in Cape Town, or you ever come to Cape Town, come check this place out. It's really cool. And we're going to take him now to our Stodels branch in Belleville, where we keep all our other reptiles, and Queenie, his new girlfriend. Alright, so we're here at my Belleville branch, and this is Queenie, the female Chinese banded king cobra. So we're going to be slowly but surely introducing the male now, and hopefully things go well. She has been pretty hectic lately. I think, you know, this time of the year when it's breeding for males, they can be a bit funny, and females as well. I've also found this time of the year she gets a bit hectic. The other day I was just cleaning her water bowl, and she out of nowhere just came hooding, mouth gaping, and like stopped like that. And that is because that's not aggression. She's just being defensive and everything like that, or maybe sort of trying to protect her area, which is a defense as well. But I mean, if she wanted to follow through, I wouldn't be here today. So I mean, they just don't want to bite. They give a lot of warning and loads of intimidation. Even the little baby kings, full of attitude, which is pretty cool to see. So as I say, we're going to slowly introduce the male, and then I must say it went really well doing the actual bagging and everything like that. I mean, I was expecting him to be on the floor so that I could just sort of leave the bag there and he'll come in better, but I mean, with him being up in the plants and everything and still coming down, going into that bag, and it went so smoothly. And I mean, I was trying to say a little bit about his sort of personality and demeanor, is when I open that cage, he a lot of the time comes at me. Okay, it's also like an intimidation thing because he'll hood and that, but he's so curious, like wondering what's going on. I'm always coming to investigate. What am I going to do? Am I going to bring him something to eat, or this or that? But yeah, he's quite a hectic snake to deal with. He really keeps me on my toes compared to some of the other things I keep. And also there is no anti-venom for these snakes here in South Africa, so it would be a big problem to get bitten. So you can come and see the female here. So she has been very busy lately. I did actually want to give her a meal and everything, but we didn't have anything aside for her, so hopefully she'll take quite kindly to a male. And hopefully with him being in the bag and having that scent of her around him a lot, that he's going to be in a very good mood and not in a sort of feeding mode or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting. This is my first time introducing kings to one another. And I'm just so glad that that whole little introduction with the skin hanging out of the bag went better than I could have thought. So that was all good signs, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to introduce him now. Okay, so, whoa, she wants to come out this side, so we're going to go to the other side. Just open up. Okay, so I just want her to know that it's not feeding time. All right, girl. Giving a nice little hiss there. I want to maybe try and get her to go to her hide. So just doing the last thing I want is her to expect some food or something coming, so I'd rather have her a little bit on the defensive, because they're not so quick to bite or anything like that. Go on, girl. Go that way. Yeah, it's going to be quite something having 2 king cobras in this small area. Alright, with about a meter workspace behind me. Well, I'm actually, yeah, all I've got is a meter of area. So she's not too bad. She won't really come out there, so she will investigate around here a little bit. Hey girl, a lot of the time with a king you put your hand up above them and then they're, oh, this thing's bigger than me, feeling a little bit intimidated. Alright, okay, so she seems actually really calm. She's not even bothering like she was the other day. Alright, so now we're just going to get the male out. Now obviously you've got to try and keep an eye on her and then what's going on here. Okay, so I'll just use some masking tape to tape this off quickly. Okay, she seems very calm, not doing anything out there. And if I'm keeping nice and still, I'm not being too, you know, aggressive with my movements, she shouldn't bother too much. Okay, so it's time to check out the new hooks. Okay, this is a new hook I've got, so we're going to use this one. Really awesome. I'll have another video to cover those. Alright, and then just to unwind this quickly. Okay, one more time. Alright, now let's see, there's no hissing or anything yet. Now I just want to be able to pick this up. Obviously again, can't touch the bag really because he can easily bite through there, so I want to just sort of maneuver him a bit. Oh, he's going to come out now. Alright, I just want to keep my hand away. Okay, there he goes, nice and smooth. He's not hissing or anything, he is looking quite interested. Let's see how this interaction goes. Same as someone in the shop, we do apologize, but no one's coming to help you yet because we've got Donnell busy filming from the front. Okay, so now they both know that there's another party here, the male sooner than the female. Let's see what his sort of behavior is like. Jerky movements would be very good. Okay, I must stand dead still where I am, but I think they're so preoccupied with what's going on here. Now kings are extremely intelligent snakes. I mean, you can just see it in their body language, in their eyes. They're really inquisitive animals, very intelligent. Oh, don't look at me, buddy. But he looks very calm. He's just investigating her body. I'm standing dead still, not feeling much of a threat. Okay, and we know how boys can be. Hey buddy, see there's a little bit of a hood there because I'm interacting with him now. You've missed her, bud. You must follow the other way. That's it. Okay, but you know how men get when it comes to women, and that's why he just went straight in the bag, not thinking properly. And his color looks even more insane now. He's like lighter. I mean, he's normally the same color as she is, but you actually see the color of him now, like in comparison, it's like chalk and cheese. This is absolutely amazing. There's a few snakes that do this, like inland taipans will actually change their color during breeding season as well. Okay, so the female, she's just dead still. Queenie, she's not doing anything. We haven't named the male yet. A good name would be Kingsley, but we've already got a Kingsley, our Californian king snake. So far so good. I mean, he's just investigating. Look at how he's flicking that tongue. He's just investigating every little thing around him, picking up pheromones and things like that. She's looking a little edgy with the body language I can see of her tail now, but she's keeping dead still, sort of surrendering. Okay, so she's not too happy about this. I think he's very happy. So what I'm going to do before things go a bit crazy and she maybe wants to get away and comes flying out of here, we're just going to close up here and we're going to watch from the front. Alright, so here we are from the front. He's just investigating her. She's just keeping still. So I mean, as I say, this is the first time I've ever introduced kings. I haven't seen any breeding videos of king cobras, so I would suspect that this is quite alright. So with him riding on top of her, check that tongue going, working like crazy. sniffing on her body. So a lot of the times the cobras actually come and they'll rub up against the female and nudge with their nose and things like that. Now, if this was a male to male pairing, then there would be a lot of aggro movements and wrestling would be going on, trying to pin each other down. But she's just being absolutely still, wondering what's going on. Okay, so we've got customers at the door here carrying on. Alright. Okay. So we hope that everything goes nice and smooth, and what we would do is we'll put this male, he'll stay here for probably about 2 or 3 days if everything goes well. Obviously if there's any fighting or disturbance and things going on, then we're gonna have to move them on. Okay, so there's a little bit of sort of wrestling movements and things going on. See him jerking like that, he's getting quite excited. A lot of the time they also wrap around the tail of snakes and they'll shake the tail and everything like that to get a response. Okay, so this riding on top of her, just checking her out. Okay, see how he's sort of grabbing her at the tail there. So he's very interested. She's not warming up to this just yet. I mean, that's how it goes in the wild. He's got to work hard for a lady. There we go. See, he's riding on top of her. She's quite a bit bigger than he is. Where the king cobras, normally the males get quite a lot larger than the females. But these are Chinese banded kings, so this is a pretty large size. But this is brilliant behavior by the male. Female, she's still, I'm not too sure about this. You see how he's just trying to get on her, trying to wrestle her down to get to her tail. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, so there we go. Check there around the tail, hooking around there. He's trying to get her to open up her cloaca so that he can obviously get in there. If she's not willing, she can just keep that closed. And I'm sure she'll wake up to it and the instincts will kick in, you know. There was no other male to wrestle and she could pick. Unfortunately, this is the only boy for her. She's apparently the only female here in South Africa at the moment. There's probably some more imports coming in of them. But you see how he's trying to work his tail under there. She's wiggling her tail a little bit. So a lot of time females like snakes, even pythons and things, they'll wiggle their tail around. Can be a bit of agitation, things like that. Okay, so check how he's just riding on top of her very well. So she's got the hood going. She's not too happy about this, but at least she's not hissing and going off at him. There we go. Yo, gee, they were so quick I didn't even notice. My word, he's like a professional and he's this is his first time. That was extremely fast. So I've heard people actually say, the guys who have bred king cobras before here in South Africa, like good old Dingo and Gavin Carpenter, and Gavin Carpenter said to me that, you know, I was asking a little bit like, is it easy to breed kings, or what do I have to do and things like that, and he's just like, they're like corn snakes, pretty easy to breed. As long as you got a willing male, that's how I find most breedings go. Obviously it's very important to get temperatures and breeding season things right, but the most important thing is having a breeding male that is ready and willing. I've bred some gaboon vipers, they seem to be pretty difficult. You get some males, they will have no interest at all, whereas other males will just jump on it like that immediately. Very keen, as soon as they smell a girl. Okay, a lot of the time it can also be if the males are a bit too hefty, a bit too fat, then they don't make good breeders. My best breeder gaboon vipers are actually the skinniest, lightest weight gaboons ever. I actually call the one Pancake because he's so thin. So that is amazing. I mean, I didn't even see that happen. It was like instantaneous. So this is amazing. This is really good to see. I can just hope that everything else goes really smoothly. I mean, she is a display animal, so we've introduced at the quietest time of the year on a Monday when it's not too busy here, so that they can do their thing, and I don't think they're going to be bothered about anything from the front. Like, she knows nothing ever comes through the front of the glass here, so she's never actually worried about anybody, so she's not really stressed. It's only when the back opens does she give me any sort of agitation and goes on the defensive and things like that. And this male, he's only got one thing on his mind now, so he'll stay here for about 2-3 days. Hopefully we'll get a couple locks from them. We'll take him back to the croc farm, and then we'll maybe come and introduce them again next week, and so on. We'll do it about 2, maybe 3 times just to make sure. But I mean, so far things couldn't be going any better. I just hope that we get things going full term and everything goes smoothly, because breeding snakes comes with rewards, but it also carries an extreme risks. Okay, a lot of people can lose snakes when it comes to breeding time. There used to be these old sayings that once snakes breed, they die, and I think that can often be because snakes hook up like this. They may be from different localities, like wide localities. One can live with something, the other one can't, and they pass things over. And also you get snakes that can die from being egg bound and so on. So I think that's where those myths, those stories come about. But yeah, luckily with egg layers I've had better luck than with live birth, believe it or not. I've always liked my live birth animals, or the snakes and reptiles. But I've had some big complications there before. So I mean, everything comes with the good and the bad. I've bred out albino gaboons, and I've also had massive issues with that as well. Alright, so we'll just leave them be and see what happens. So they've been together for 3 days now, after the female biting the male, and I think they're finally warmed up to one another. So we've got them locked up. So hopefully this time everything goes nice and smoothly. I just love the color of the male when it's breeding time. He's normally the same color as the female. Very, very cool to see. Alright, so now we don't know exactly what to expect with her. I mean, I was in here a little bit already to check and she was fine, but obviously king cobra females are going to want to guard their nest, but she is normally pretty good. Oh, she's not doing anything other than ordinary. In fact, she's even more chilled than normal. Okay, so we're just going to obviously take her out so that we can work safely. Come on, girl. No, come here. There we go. Okay. We just want to make sure she's nice and secure. And then we can go egg hunting. Okay. So we've got our egg box here, ready for our eggs and everything. Just need to see what she's done here. And we're going to obviously take all of this out as well, so that it doesn't seem like her nest anymore, and she'll go back to normal and eating and everything. So we couldn't get anything like nice bamboo leaves or anything like that. There's not much bamboo available in the Western Cape. Tried to get hold previous year, didn't manage to get any, so we just went with a sort of straw and some oak leaves, and seems she must have done the deed. She's not looking that full. It's just where she buries them. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, made a whole little pile. Sure, there's a lot of bug activity going on in this bioactive substrate. I don't know if you guys can see all these little hojas, but I mean, they'll be eating mold and mildew and stuff like that. So, whoa, yo. Okay, that's quite a sizable clutch here. I'm just glad she popped them all out in one go like she should. She did everything right, buried them even, it's like lower than the ground level, and piled everything on top. Okay, so they do look pretty good. The whole test will come to whether or not they're showing good healthy veins. Don't know if we're going to get it in this kind of light either. Yes. So we've got good fertile eggs. You can see the veins nicely on that. Okay, so we're just going to pop all of these into... Yo, there's a lot. Oh my goodness, I should have bred corn snakes this year. Oh my word, this is a big clutch. Because I was thinking the eggs are not very large, but a lot of the time when you don't get very large eggs, you get multiple eggs. Oof. All fertile. Sure, this, I just hope everything goes smooth from here, because this will be a dream come true. This one, I mean, it looks very deflated and everything. Normally an egg would be nice and plump, but it is also got veining, or got some color anyway. There's going nice and red. So although it is a bit pup, it should still grow and rehydrate and everything with all the humidity we got here. But I mean, the substrate here is very damp. I'm pretty sure she could hatch these eggs here, but always stands a better chance in an incubator. Yeah, that's a nice big one. Okay, I see there's one there that looks like a little bit of a dud. Always want to keep the eggs in the position you find them. Normally, well, what I have done in the past is actually blow dust and stuff off of them, which is not a good idea, because when you blow, you are pretty much putting saliva and fine particles of your spit onto the eggs, and then you're incubating it, and that cannot go well. So they'll be just fine with whatever debris is on them. I mean, gosh, there's some funny ones. This one doesn't. Yeah, I see that one's infertile. So bit funny looking. So it looks almost totally clear. There's a little tiny speck there. So I'll just put this on the far end away from the others, because it'll probably go bad. But we'll see. Give it a chance. If it's infertile, it's going to go pretty quickly. Okay. So she had her pre-lay shed. She was supposed to lay in about 3 days or so, and I have the feeling she's actually laid these quite a while ago, so it might have been 20 to 25 days or so from her shed. I was banking on about 28 days. Okay, yeah, most of these are looking good. Yo, what a nice size clutch. Yes. Oh, here's another, well, okay, it looks like a dud, but then I change the angle, there's a bit of red somewhere. So maybe the blood vessels are just not as developed around them as the others are. Oh, this little sucker, that's definitely a kaput one, broken, infertile, all squished into the side there. Oh my word, it's going to be fun feeding all of these. Okay, we're starting to get to the end here. Oh, that's a beaut. That's a big one. Alright. Yo, this is a massive clutch. I mean, kings can lay a lot of eggs. Chinese banders not getting as large as your Malaysians, but this is a very good number. Oof. See, this one's going bad a bit. Underneath of it might have been a bit, yeah, also it looks like an infertile. Unless there's something going on this end there. Nah. But we'll put it next to the other one. Give it a chance. This one also looks infertile. Yeah. You can just see that like sort of yellow color around it. Okay, and then there's our last dud. That's definitely a dud. Totally, really small, misshapen. Not even gonna bother with that one. Alright, awesome stuff. So we're gonna just clean up here, take all the bedding out in this area as well to get rid of the smell of the eggs, and give her a little wishy-washy, and then hopefully she'll go back onto eating and everything. But her condition looks amazing already. She doesn't look very skinny or anything like that. So it's been 60 days of incubation at 28 degrees. And we've got one baby out so far, and others that are slitting. Just want to try focus here. There we go. Yeah, so we're probably going to slit the rest of the eggs in time and give all the babies an opportunity to come out. We don't want any drownings or anything going on. So it's quite interesting. I got it quite spot on with when they were going to hatch. I marked them for today, but it could have been that we only found the eggs like maybe 3 to 5 days late. I'm not 100% sure on that because she was very, very quiet. We thought just leave her alone. She's settling to lay her eggs, but she might have actually laid them then and there. Although with the eggs plumping up, it might have been that we caught them quite early on. So about 60 to 65 days of incubation at 28 degrees. Okay, so we'll get a little more video when we got some more of them out. But yeah, just super stoked. This is a dream come true. Really, really awesome to produce king cobras, especially the Chinese banded kings. So we've got one that has just slit the egg over here. He's got his little window. So I'm just going to create windows for the rest of them, just in case there are any that struggle to get out. So I'm just going to cut a little slither, a little slit in there for each of them, and at least this way we know we're not going to lose any to drowning or anything like that. Okay, so each one's just going to get a little window. They've got a bit of yolk in here, but obviously they've all been incubated at the same temperature. They should all be ready to hatch around the same time. So this is why we're able to cut. I mostly only cut if we have a couple babies that have already slit and want to come out. Okay, I'm obviously being very careful, like just going through. I can actually feel some of the babies moving. As soon as something pops through the egg, if it touches them, they move away from it immediately. And then also I'm just using the blade up against the egg so it's nice and safe. Okay, so some of them might stay in here for 2-3 days, absorb the last of their yolks, but as I say, at least this way we know we're not going to have any drowning in the egg. Recently, last season I had black spitters and we lost some that actually drowned in the egg. Oh, I can feel this one actually almost slicing by my finger since I picked it up. I felt his head moving down there. Okay. Alright, so we're almost there. Just a nice little window for each of them. Alright. And just got 2 more. And hopefully we'll have a whole lot of nice little baby kings. Alright, so we can leave them to do their thing now. So it's the next morning. We've got a couple more that are out, so we're just going to get them housed. I'm just putting them in this box so that if they come flying out, because they seem pretty active, that we don't have them all over the place. I'll just see if we can go nice and slowly. Okay, that little guy looks quite weak. I mentioned earlier in the video when they were first hatching that one looked very weak, and that's often when they've just popped out they look a little bit pup and exhausted. Obviously hatching is quite a hectic story, but obviously we cut windows in these, so that might just be he's a little bit tired or so on. But not too sure if he's ready to come out. We're not going to pull him out, so we're just going to work with the ones that are out already. Oh, check this little guy. He's nice and chunky. It's quite interesting the different sizes we've got on them. Like this one's quite a bit chunkier than the others, with some eggs are a little bit bigger than others as well.
Okay, so yeah, we're just going to take them out, give them a little wash, and then house them. And we'll wait for the others to come out. You can see we've got little faces peeking out, we've got little bubbles, all a little squirming. This one has been slitting the egg everywhere. So maybe we'll make a little bit of a bigger window. Just open this up, but at least it's got air because it's slit so many places. This one's busy popping its head out. Very, very cool. You can see they're slicing the eggs all over the place, even though we made windows for them. Alright, very, very cool. Just want to get some photos, then we can house them. Okay, so it's another day, and it looks like all of them are out, which is a little bit worrying because it's going to be quite a handful. This is the sort of deepest tub I've got available, and they're quite long and they're all going crazy. They were sitting in a nice quiet pile. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm gonna maybe use this lid over half of this container, but yeah, these little oaks are everywhere. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna have little king cobras everywhere. Okay, at least that half is covered nicely with the lid. We can have a look-see. They all are perfect little babies. They're just mucking each other, just mocking each other and head-butting and stuff like that. They're not opening and biting, but obviously it's a little bit of a stressful environment for them, so we want to get them out of here and get them housed. I'm just going to get a little picture or two and then house these guys. So yeah, really, really awesome, amazing to see, and really, really stoked with them. Oh, every single one of them looks perfect. Alright, so we're just going to have a little look at one of these kings. This is a little male holdback of mine. They are pretty feisty. You can see he's just shed. Now here he comes. Oh, feisty little guy. They're looking really, really good. At the moment we're just force feeding pinkies because we're struggling to get snakes this time of year. Everyone is starting to hatch snakes, so hopefully we can get some little corns or something like that, deformed snakes preferably, things that die inside the egg, and we can get them started, and then we will probably convert them at a later stage. So will also be quite an interesting to see how these guys do, but we've tried all sorts of different tactics to try and get them to take rodent, but nothing working thus far. Okay, so we're not going to irritate them too much. We're just having a look at this one. All others doing fantastic. Found some homes for the others. Some really good keepers who have kings. So really, really awesome. Now with the breeding we found that sorry, phone was going there. We found that we only had 3 males out of the 20 we hatched out. Only 3 little males. So this is one of my holdbacks. So Queenie is no longer the only female in South Africa. There is now quite a few of them. Absolutely stunning little beast. Alright, I think he's had enough. We're going to just give him a little clean, record his shed, and leave him in peace. Alright, so if you guys have made it to the end of this video, I do appreciate it. It has been quite a long one. I'm just taking a look at Queenie, our female here again. She's put on good weight. She's looking really, really good. Now a lot of people say that if feeding king cobras rodents cause them to get fatty livers and organs and that, and they can die, which I don't doubt. It all depends on how much you feed them, in my opinion. So this female here has been on a rodent only diet for a good 7 years. Okay, I obviously watch her body condition and her weight. She's going in the blue at the moment, and she ate 2 rats recently. So I'll normally feed like 2 medium rats. Kings can't eat very large meals because they eat snakes. So it's more long, slender animals. So we feed smaller meals, but we can feed multiple of them. Now we only give her 2 medium-ish rats. Sometimes I would maybe do 3 every 2 weeks. Whereas guys that are feeding kings can often feed weekly. And now you also get obese captive snakes. So I mean, if you're feeding your king some snakes that have died from being overfed and that, then you're also going to give them a lot of fat. So I think it really depends on how often you feed as well. Obviously if you do feed snakes, I think you're going to have a much larger king cobra, great condition and so on. But I mean, her condition's absolutely perfect. You know, to get, I think it was about 25 eggs, 2 were duds and 3 were possible duds. In the end, hatching out 20 beautiful babies, which are doing very, very well. I do not really see too much of an issue with feeding rodents. Okay, but again, we'll see how long Queenie goes for, how long she lives and everything. But feeding rodents can be done. It's just obviously you got to watch your animal, know what good body condition is and everything like that. So I mean, I'd say her body condition is pretty good right now. She doesn't need to get much fatter. She could probably put on a little more. That's if we're maybe going to breed her. But yeah, otherwise I'm pretty happy with her condition. She's a little huffy puffy and grumpy. It's such a stunning snake. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I think we got some really cool footage. Again, sorry it was quite long, but I do feel I covered quite a bit of information the whole time. So awesome, catch you at the next one.